Picking up where we left off from the last video with signal chain, we covered our impedance sensitive pedals, our dynamic effects, our buffers, our overdrives, distortions, and our EQs and boosts. So now comes the modulation section. So this is your tremolos, your chorus, your phaser, flangers, your vibe, all these different modulation effects. So there's a number of these effects that you can place before your overdrive, typically your phaser, flanger, vibe pedals. Now it's really just a personal preference. If you want these effects to be a little more pronounced, then you put them in the modulation section after all your gain. But if you're a fan of, let's say, Eddie Van Halen, you can place them before your overdrive section and have them there. There's nothing wrong with it, really just a personal preference. But if you do like these modulation vibey effects to be a little bit more pronounced, you put them in the modulation section, and the order of them doesn't really matter if you're not stacking them. So next up comes our time-based effects. So this is our delays and reverbs. Now the order of these doesn't matter a ton. It does matter if you are stacking them, like most of us do, but it depends if you want your delay to affect your reverb or reverb to affect your delay. There is a difference in it. It's just really more of a personal preference, but experiment with it and try it out. So with these effects, you want them typically at the end of your signal chain if you're playing more traditional styles. If you're doing more shoegazy type stuff, you can place them early on in the signal chain. So say you have a delay or reverb that feeds into a distortion, you can get a cool shoegaze type of effect for that. But most of the time, traditionally, it will sit at the end of the signal chain. And then from there, you will go into your output buffer. Now, we covered buffers in the last video, but you want an output buffer at the very end to drive the signal back to your amp, especially if you're using a longer cable. And the specs on that are a 1 meg input impedance and 100 ohm output impedance. That's the ideal spec, and that will keep your signal intact going back to your amplifier.